What's up, everybody? I am Slowjams4life, and this is Loving R&B. Today, we have a guest with us today. I like to let the guests introduce themselves. So if you can just give me your name, your age, if you don't mind, and where you're from, and then we'll get into it.
So my name is Brandy Haze. I'm from Chino Hills, California. I currently live in LA. And my age is like, whatever you feel.
Can you give us an age range? This is just for the statistics.
Okay,
20,
so
20 to 30.
but for the 25, well, usually my range for people who love me is like 25 to 35. So
Okay. All right, that works. So this is like my third interview, I would say. I did two earlier. So I'm not
Mhm.
what you would call a interviewer. I'm
Okay.
just a person. Yeah, I'm just a person that loves R&B and I like tapping in with the people. So I mean, it might be some weird transitions, but that's all right because we're gonna edit and we're gonna make it look seamless.
Okay.
And usually I have like a lot of R&B related questions, but since you're an artist, I kind of switched up the questions a little bit, tailored towards you. So,
Okay.
can you tell us when you fell in love with R&B?
So I fell in love with R&B in the early 2000s. I was like super young, like I don't even know, like we might have still had dial-up internet, and I found like this new website called Amazon or something. I don't know. I don't know if it was new, but it was new to me. And they had
Mhm.
like cassette tapes and CDs, and they were selling them for like a cent. So I was like, who's Jodeci? Who's Total? Who's all these people? I had allowance. I was like, cool. Like, let me just rack up on these CDs. And that's like when I really fell in love with R&B. I just collected all these CDs and I was just like, this is amazing.
Do you remember? Well, you said Jodeci, so was that like the first album that you bought, like all at once?
I don't even remember. Like, of course, like I was super heavy in the pop stuff when I was younger. So like NSYNC and like Britney Spears, like that was me all day when I was little. But then just like growing up, BET Soul and stuff would play on the TV, and then like we see the music videos, and we used to tape the music videos, and so I started looking
Hey,
up some of those people, and that's how I kind of found them on Amazon. I don't know who was the first person, but I always knew of like Whitney Houston and Brandy and Monica, but it wasn't until the early 2000s that I got into like deep R&B and like Tevin Campbell and like Tracy Spencer and all that type of stuff.
I'll ask you this because I usually ask people what's their favorite era of R&B, but I hear you talk about 2000s, so I'm just curious between 90s R&B or 2000s R&B, which would be your favorite?
I would say 90s. Like, even though I wasn't really like around, like I was around, but I wasn't around. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't even talk, like, but like I was around for the 2000s, but I fell in love with 90s.
I feel you, yeah. 90s is one of those that's tough to beat.
Yeah.
Even though I was a 90s R&B type of dude, but the more I listen to 80s, I think 80s got 90s beat. But I don't know,
Mm.
that's just my personal opinion. A lot of
I'm
people
like,
like 90s.
I only go back so far. Like I know classics, but like I think like Tracy Spencer, Michelle A, and Phyllis Hyman was like 89. That was like where I kind of stopped.
I'm 38, so I had to go back a lot too, as well, to kind of tap into the 80s. But
Yeah.
on my page, I post like all eras of R&B, so I'm really like learning the 80s. I'm like, okay, they got some
They
heat.
got stuff.
But cool. So this question, I want to know, what is your top three favorite non-skip R&B albums? The one where you can play and you're like, okay, this is non-skip for me.
Brandy Full Moon.
Oh,
Mm,
okay.
yeah.
Not never say never. Full Moon.
Ooh, that's a good one. Oh.
You can keep Full Moon.
Okay. Yeah, let's keep Full Moon for now, but Never Say Never. That's a classic.
Okay.
Usher 8701, not Confessions, 8701. Um
Mm.
and dang, a third one. I'm trying to think. I feel like it's so hard because I feel like albums were so non-skip back in the day. Like all like they were so good. I'll say Beyonce's first, solo album.
Is that your favorite Beyonce album?
No, it's probably the self-titled Beyonce, the one with
Okay.
Drunken Love, but growing up, I definitely listened to that album a lot, like, all the songs.
That's my favorite Beyonce album. I think it's more R&B. I'm more into the R&B, and that was like the R&B album. Then every
Yeah,
album after that, it was like a mix.
a little
But
more, yeah.
a lot of people don't really like that album though. I post that album on the page, and I say like this is her best album. A lot of people are like, so I don't
Well,
know.
I love that whole, like, yeah, to me, there was a lot of classics on that album though. Like we still sing
Yeah.
those songs to today, and even the B-sides, like the Hip Hop Star, like that was my stuff. Like
I
that
was
was
gonna say that's the only song I didn't like.
I love those songs. Maybe it was more like girly. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, that was the only one I didn't like. That's the one with Big Boy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't like that one, but cool. All right. Um, name an artist whose songs you can relate to the most.
Any artist?
Yeah, if there
Mm,
is anyone.
I don't. It's so hard. Like my favorite artist is definitely Frank Ocean. I definitely feel like even though he says things in such a poetic way, like I relate to a lot of it. I don't know, like not relating to your peers sometimes, or like just wanting to stay inside, or like just different things. I always just it touches my heart.
Are you an introvert by chance?
I can be. I don't know. I'm
Okay.
so because I don't drink and I don't smoke. I've never tried it. But like there's points in my life where I just like when I went to college, I was knocking on everybody's room, like, my name is Brandy. What's your name? What's up? Like, so
Mm,
it just depends, like different times and different people. I'm like kind of different energies.
I feel it. For me, I would say I'm an introvert. Well, like a mix because I was
Yeah.
an introvert, but now I'm kind of like stepping out. Like even this, like you just started following the page, but I've been following you for a minute. But like I just started posting myself.
Mhm.
I've been like in the background, so a lot of people don't even know what I look like. And I just started going to like live shows and just trying
Yeah.
to, yeah, like network and meet people. So I can definitely relate to staying in. I guess it's cool to be both. I guess depends on
Yeah.
the situation, but cool.
Exactly.
If you had to make a four-person group, this is your making a band, and you
Oh
have
god.
four members. Who would you pick to be in this group?
I'm like, listen, my Frank Ocean love is like up here. So we're gonna put Frank Ocean and we're gonna put Tyler the Creator because love.
Okay,
Um, hmm.
you gonna throw Sid in there too?
Look, I thought about it, but I'm like, no, no, no. Let's get some other energies in there. Doja Cat, I love,
Okay.
not R&B, but Doja Cat, I love. I could listen to all the time. Um, and she also sings and raps a little, get you that some of that balance. And
Mhm.
then I'm trying to think of like a singer who I really love, who's a female. Can I put myself in it?
Why not? Yeah, that'll be
I'm gonna put
dope.
myself in it.
Do you consider yourself an artist or a singer? Like, cause you write songs as well. I was
I
looking at
write
the
all
credits.
my songs. I write my songs. I mix my songs. I direct and edit my videos. I do it all. But
Okay, you do it all.
I consider myself an artist for sure.
Okay, dope. What would you say is the hardest part for an up and coming artist?
Getting yourself out there, like marketing wise, promotion, getting TikToks to go up, like whatever it is, like having the money to promote yourself or the money to like create these videos and these visualizers and all that stuff. That's definitely going to be the hardest part.
As a new artist, do you feel like you get a lot of help from outside people, like, or is it like one of those things you just got to know somebody, and just hope somebody hears the music?
For me, unfortunately, I haven't gotten a lot of help, and it was my decision to kind of say like I'm gonna just learn how to do it because I've gotten being out here in LA, sometimes people are not focused on the smaller artists. So I've gotten like screwed over or like people don't value you as much. So I just said to myself, like, I'm gonna learn how to mix this so I don't have to have this happen again. I'm gonna learn how to edit this so I don't have to wait 6 months for a video. So I definitely just took it upon myself to just anything that I want to do, I'm just gonna learn it.
I think that's dope actually because number one, you save a lot of money doing
Exactly.
everything. But I mean, you can't really depend on people a lot of times because people are like flaky. They got their own stuff going on. I do agree with you. There's not a lot of people that want to help, but I am one of those people. I'm from Long Beach, so
Oh
I like
wow.
if I see somebody from Cali, like I
Eh,
feel like it's my duty to help out. It starts here, and if
yeah,
we put our own, like we can't complain. Like there's no artist from Cali that's making it if we don't even help out our own. So like I'm always,
exactly.
yeah, when I see people that's from the town, like I'm always like, okay, let me try to show them some love on the page. I posted you before because like I really enjoy your music. Like I don't just post like, oh, she's from Cali, but I really enjoy your music. You actually have a lot of good songs that I have saved to my library. I didn't know till today that you were actually a songwriter when I
I
was looking.
know. I gotta work on that. That's my goal this year is to get all these things about me out there, you know?
It takes time. I'm getting out there myself. Like I procrastinate a lot. Like even doing this little series, like I've been sitting on this idea for a minute, and I'm like, man, I need to just do it. So that's why I was like, I'm gonna start DMing people because at that point, there's no turning back because they're gonna respond, and then they'll be like, "What's up?" So.
Exactly.
But
But you got a pretty jumping page. Like your page is active.
thank you. I tried. Like it's 4 years in the making, so it wasn't overnight. My main goal with that page, even though I post a throwback R&B, I like to put people on the new music. When somebody goes to my page, like, man, I found Brandy Haze because of you. That's like the best compliment ever. So like
Yeah,
that's my goal.
I love
So
that.
hopefully somebody will start paying me to create these
Right.
playlists, but it'll come. But
Exactly.
being that you're a songwriter, like who's the artist out there that you would love to write for?
To write for. Ooh. So I used to try and write for other artists and like it's difficult not to write for them, but like to get in these rooms and stuff like that. And then like, as a creative, sometimes you make things and you make things, but you don't necessarily know what you want to put out. Um, so I stopped writing for a lot of people. But I would write for I would write for so many people that's out right now, but there's like an up and coming girl. I think her name is Samaria. I really like her music. And even like big people like a Doja Cat, I'd love to write for SZA or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm familiar with Maria. Like I be tapped into the artists. Like I
You
I be
cat-
going in. Like I really be tapped in. Like a lot of the artists that I post on the page, people don't. They're not even hit to. But
Yeah.
there's different ways I find artists. Like one of my favorite ways is so random to find artists. I'll go on like Spotify or Apple, and I'll just
Mhm.
go into search and I'll type in random letters and see what artist pops up.
Oh wow.
And then
That's
I'll
dope.
just yeah, and I found a few artists like that, and I think it just like evens the playing field. It just makes it random.
How'd you find
Okay,
me? If you don't mind me
I
asking.
think I think I found. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it was probably on a playlist, like one of the Apple playlists. And then
Yeah.
I saw a song. This was like I knew about you probably like over a year now, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe 2 years actually. But I seen it on there. Unfortunate was probably the first song I heard, maybe.
Oh.
And then
That's a good intro.
yeah, yeah. And then after that, if I hear one song I like, I'm gonna go to the profile and I'm gonna see what else they got. And then if
Hey.
I hear two, I'm like, okay, she got something. So I'm gonna post her on the page. And then yeah, so that's how I found you. When I follow somebody, I read the bio. I'm on the Instagram. I'm like, okay, she from Chino. Okay, that's what's up. And like I'm tapped in. So yeah, that's how I found you.
Dope.
So I guess I'll ask you. If you were telling somebody to listen to Brandy Hayes, what
Mhm.
what are three songs you'd be like, all right, start with this one, then listen to this one and that one. Three songs. Putting you on the spot.
Okay. Okay, 3 songs. Unfortunate, then I'll say On Site.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've heard that one, but that was on my first Silhouette series. And then I have a song really it's older. It's on a project called Garden Fire. It's called Intentions. And that's like one of my favorite songs. So
Okay, I'm
that's
gonna have to
that's
on
good.
site. I think I've heard of it. I can't remember it, but the other one I haven't. I like to know the backstory of songs. Like I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah, I'm like a geek when it comes to that. Like Like, what were you thinking? I like to get in your head. So I have three songs written down here. Well, one of them I already talked about, and I guess you can kind of just give me the backstory about that. Like, unfortunate. Like,
Mhm.
what's the whole backstory behind that song?
Ooh, okay. So I was talking to someone and it was like an ongoing saga where like we talk, we stop talking, we make up, we stop talking. And it was like a situation where I was like finally just like over it. I was done. And like he would say little things like, yeah, I know you're writing songs about me. And like I wasn't. It was just like his ego was so high. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write this about you. This time it's about you. And it was like, it's been unfortunate to know you.
Wow. So did you send it to him when it was done?
No, no, we don't talk.
Does he know that this song is about him?
I'm sure with his ego, he thinks every song is about him. So I'm sure he thought it was.
Wow, that's unfortunate. See what I did?
Exactly.
That's crazy. All right. All right. The other one I have is Say Something.
Say something. That one, so I actually wrote that, and I don't often write with a lot of other people, but I wrote that with a girl named Amber Olivia and also a producer, White Noise. And um that one, I don't know. I think we were just trying to like we were collabing. We were trying to go off of like just like what I stand for, what I'm about, and just like the essence of love and just the essence of being like a strong woman. Sometimes it's not, people don't approach you or whatever. And sometimes you gotta like tell people, you gotta tell me, like I don't get hints a lot. Like, I'm like, you gotta like tell me you want to date me, like take me on a date.
Mm, yeah, I feel that. All right, this last one, I really like this song. I feel like I posted this one on the page, but it's Voodoo.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
How do you tell me the backstory about that one,
Backstory on Voodoo.
or what was going through your mind when you wrote that one?
Yeah, that one, I honestly don't know. I think it was just the music. Sometimes, like, you just get wrapped up in the music and you just start to create whatever first like comes to your mind. And I don't necessarily know if there was anybody specifically on my mind when I made that, but definitely the music helped carry that vibe, just put you in like the mood.
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely like that one. So if you guys watching that, check out Voodoo. I think that might be up there with one of my favorite songs of yours so far that I've heard. So
Aw,
yeah.
thank
What's an artist that somebody put you on to that you're thankful for?
Hmm. Hmm. An artist that someone put me on to that I'm thankful
Or a
for,
song. It could be a song too.
or a song. I'm like equally as difficult. No.
Or are you the
Well,
one that's putting everybody onto music?
yeah, I usually I was the one like who found Bryson Tiller Don't before it blew up. Like when it was like on SoundCloud, only had like a couple thousand. I'm like, this song is fire.
Yeah.
I found LA on SoundCloud like long, like 2015. Like I always put people on music, but my ex-boyfriend put me on Frank Ocean, Thinking About You,
Oh, yeah.
before like he blew up or anything like that. Like when nobody really knew who he was, he definitely put me on Frank Ocean. So I thank him for that.
He's one of your favorite, right? Frank Ocean?
Exactly. Favorite of all time. I wouldn't know him without my ex. So people come into your life for a reason.
Yeah, sure. That's dope. That's what's up. Name a modern R&B artist that you feel is underrated that don't really get the recognition that they should.
I would say there is a song by a girl named Corinne. Her name is Corinne, Korin. And it's like F$ or something like that. And it's so good to me. Maybe it's just me personally, but I love that song. Also, K Forest. I don't know if
Hmm.
you're. I
Yeah, I
love.
just started listening to him. Yep.
I love K Forest. He has a song called. I want to say it's Diamonds and Gold. Also, Wild. A song called Wild. Like if you haven't heard that, check that out. It's so good.
Thank you. I'm not familiar with Corinne, but I'm gonna check her out.
Yeah,
I
I think I found it randomly.
Yeah. Yeah, I love when people put me on to new music because I pride myself on knowing everybody. So if
Yeah.
you guys could stump me, I'm like, all right, you on your R&B tip. So I appreciate that. This next game is I'm gonna just give you like two options,
Okay.
and then you just tell me which one you like better. Okay.
Okay.
Boys to Men or Drew Hill?
Ooh. Imma say Drew Hill. That might just be my age, but Imma say
Yeah.
Drew.
Okay. Okay. I mean, you can't go wrong with either. Mariah Carey or Whitney Houston?
Whitney Houston. You didn't even have to finish the
Whitney?
set. No, just kidding.
Really?
I
Why?
love
Why
Mariah.
Whitney?
Whitney had the voice. Like Whitney was the voice of the generation.
Okay. I'm going Mariah, but I might just be
Okay.
biased. I love Mariah. Tony, or Mint Condition.
Imma go with Imma go with Tony.
I figure you was on there
Yeah, Imma go that way.
because you got to go with them. They from the
Well,
town.
that too, and, like, I mean, both got classic songs, but that anniversary
Yeah,
and
I'm going Tony too.
yeah.
Last one we'll do Joe or Donnell Jones.
Ooh, ooh, Imma go with Donnell Jones.
Donnell Jones. Same.
Mhm.
Is there a reason why?
Um, just I feel like the songs are more classic, even though some of them are just like low key like covers. It's like a Stevie Wonder cover, but still like classic. Where Joe's was like, I remember like turning up, partying, and it was great times and stuff. But I probably listened to Donnell Jones songs more than I probably listened to some of Joe's.
Yeah, I figure you can't go wrong with either. I love Donnell Jones. I mean, Joe's good too, but Donnell Jones. I think that Where I Want to Be album. I have that
Yeah,
as one of my favorite R&B albums.
I
So,
have that album, and I have Joe's album too, though. But I like Donnell.
which one?
Donnell's better. Um, I don't know if it was called Joe, but it was like brown, like the CD. It was
I think that's
brown.
the
He
I
was like,
am. I think
I think it was like laying on something like a red top. I don't know. I got it. I got like a collection of CDs, so I remember shit by like the CD.
that's basically it. I just wanted to really tap in. It was nice meeting you. Like this is my
Me
first time meeting
too.
you. Eat meet, but I definitely dig your music. And like I said, I'm not an interviewer. I just like to
Yeah.
talk to people about R&B, people that I'm a fan of. I wish you much success in this business. I know it's hard doing everything yourself, but I know you're definitely on the right track. I seen a post that you did. I think it was like last year. I want to say where you were just like, I don't know. It was kind of like one of those posts, and I think everybody has these moments where they're kind of like at that point where they want to kind of give up, I guess, or they're like having a rough day. They're like, damn, like they am I?
Well,
You get what I'm saying?
that one I know what you're talking about. That was Valentine's Day, but nah,
Oh,
that
was
was
it? Oh, okay.
just like a sound in the reels circulating, and it was
Oh,
funny.
okay.
So I
Oh,
used it.
okay.
I'm
Yeah.
never gonna stop creating. Like no
Okay.
matter whether I'm huge or I'm small, I'm always create. So
Okay. Yeah. Please don't stop because I know we all have our moments. Like even with the page, sometimes I be feeling like, man, like this ain't really getting nowhere. But then you'll get that random message from somebody and they'll just like reconfirm, like, okay, this is what I should be doing. So if you ever
exactly. And
have those moments,
I have a lot, yeah, and I have a lot more stuff coming soon and this summer and singles and collaborations and all that videos. So I'm excited.
mhm. You took my segue. I was going to give you the floor to say if there's anything you want, yeah, anything you want to promote or anything you want to say. Now's your time to say that.
Follow me on everything Brandy Haze, Brandy with a Y, Haze Haze. Have new music coming soon. I have new visuals coming and singles dropping all throughout the summer. So look forward to it.
For sure. And send it to me too, because like I said, I'm
Yeah.
we tapped in. I feel like we on a first name basis. Not that many people know my name, but I definitely would love to support and do anything I can to help get your music out there because I think you're a dope artist
Thank
and we
you.
got to support each other. So
Thank you. I definitely will. I'll tap in with you.
I need you to do something for me before we leave. This is
Okay.
you just started following the page, so you're not really familiar with this term called Wizzy Wow.
Wizzy
Have,
wow.
yeah, have you heard that before? No.
No.
Okay, yeah. So I won't explain it, but if you ever see me in the comments on like the shade room or anything, I'd be saying like Wizzy Wow behavior, and it's an inside joke on the page. So I thought it would be interesting to sign off that way. So every time I sign off, I just be like Wizzy Wow. So but when I sign off, I need you to give me a Wizzy Wow, and then that's how we just gonna end it.
Okay.
All right, this is the end of the show. This is Slow Dance for Life. Wizzy, wow.
Wow.
No, you gotta say Wizzy, wow.
Oh, I gotta say Wizzy wow.
Yeah, however you want to say it. All right,
Okay.
go. It's on you.
Wizzy wow.
Yeah, that was perfect. All right, thank you, Brandy. Nice meeting you, and we'll
Nice
talk
to meet
soon.
you.
All right,
Okay.
man.
All right.